There is a small country in East Africa that many people around the world rarely talk about. A country filled with green hills, beautiful lakes, hardworking people, and rich culture. But behind those beautiful landscapes lies a painful reality. A reality of hunger, unemployment, political fear, and extreme poverty. This is the story of Burundi, a nation that, according to global economic reports, has repeatedly ranked among the poorest countries on earth. But how did Burundi end up here? How can a country blessed with fertile land and millions of hardworking citizens struggle so badly? And why does it feel like the world barely notices Burundi's suffering? Today, we uncover the heartbreaking truth behind Burundi's economic collapse, and why millions of people there continue to fight for survival every single day. Burundi is located in East Africa, bordered by Rwanda, Tanzania, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. It is one of Africa's smallest countries, but despite its size, Burundi has one of the highest population densities in Africa. Almost everybody depends on farming. Coffee and tea are the country's biggest exports. The problem is, Burundi's economy depends too heavily on agriculture. Most families survive through small-scale farming using outdated tools and methods. One bad rainy season, one drought, one crop disease, and entire communities fall into hunger. Many Burundians live on less than $2 a day. Electricity is limited. Roads in many rural areas are poor. Healthcare remains weak, and opportunities for young people are almost non-existent. For many families, surviving one more day is the only goal. To understand Burundi's poverty, you must understand its painful history. For decades, Burundi suffered from ethnic tensions between the Hutu and Tutsi communities. These divisions were made worse during colonial rule. Just like neighboring Rwanda, colonial powers created deep mistrust between ethnic groups. After independence in 1962, violence began to erupt repeatedly. Mass killings shocked the country. Thousands died. Families were destroyed. Fear spread across generations. Then came the Civil War. In 1993, Burundi descended into a brutal conflict that lasted more than a decade. Rebel groups fought government forces, villages were burned, children grew up surrounded by violence. Over 300,000 people are believed to have died. Millions more were displaced. Imagine trying to build an economy while your country is constantly at war. Investors leave, businesses collapse, schools close, hospitals stop functioning, and an entire generation loses hope. The scars of that conflict still remain today. Even after the Civil War officially ended, Burundi struggled to recover. Political instability continued to haunt the country. Leaders promised development, but many citizens saw little change. Corruption became a major problem. Government resources often failed to reach ordinary people. Public services remained weak. International organizations repeatedly raised concerns about human rights abuses and political repression. Then came the controversial 2015 elections. When President Pierre Nkurunziza announced he would run for a third term, protests erupted across the country. Many people believed it violated Burundi's constitution. Violence returned to the streets. Demonstrators were attacked. Journalists fled. Thousands escaped to neighboring countries. The economy suffered another devastating blow. Tourism disappeared, foreign aid declined, and fear once again dominated daily life. When political instability becomes normal, economic growth becomes almost impossible. Today, Burundi has one of the youngest populations in Africa. But for many young people, the future looks uncertain. Jobs are extremely scarce. University graduates struggle to find employment. Many young men turn to motorcycle taxi work just to survive. Others attempt dangerous migration journeys in search of better opportunities. Some fall into crime. Others sink into hopelessness. Internet access remains limited in many regions. Technology industries are underdeveloped. Large companies rarely invest heavily in Burundi. And because the economy is so weak, even educated youth often remain trapped in poverty. This creates frustration, because young people can see the outside world through social media. They see modern cities, luxury lifestyles, opportunities elsewhere, while many of them cannot even afford stable electricity or decent healthcare. One of the saddest realities in Burundi is food insecurity. Many families struggle to eat properly. Children suffer from malnutrition. Climate change has made farming even harder. Floods destroy crops. Droughts dry up farmland. Food prices continue rising. In some rural villages, parents skip meals so their children can eat. Imagine waking up every day not knowing whether your family will have food tomorrow. That is reality for many Burundians. Healthcare is also difficult to access. Hospitals often lack equipment. Medicine shortages happen frequently. Pregnant women in remote areas face enormous risks, and diseases that are easily treated elsewhere can become deadly in poorer communities. Education also suffers. Some children walk long distances to school. Others drop out completely to help their families survive. Without education, the cycle of poverty continues. Countries develop faster when businesses invest. Factories create jobs. Tourism brings money. Technology companies create innovation. But Burundi struggles to attract major investors. Why? Because investors fear instability. Weak infrastructure also makes business difficult. Transportation costs are high. Electricity shortages hurt industries. Internet systems are limited. Corruption concerns discourage international companies. And because Burundi is landlocked, importing and exporting goods becomes expensive. All these problems combine to slow economic growth. Meanwhile, neighboring countries continue advancing. This leaves Burundi even further behind. Statistics can never fully explain suffering. Behind every poverty number is a real human being. A mother struggling to feed her children, a father unable to find work, a student forced to abandon education, a child growing up without clean water. Despite everything, the people of Burundi remain incredibly resilient. Markets still open every morning. Farmers still work tirelessly. Children still laugh and play. Families still dream of better futures. Burundians are not lazy. They are not hopeless. Many are trapped inside systems they did not create, and that is what makes the situation so heartbreaking. So, can Burundi ever escape poverty? The answer is yes, but it will not be easy. The country needs political stability, better leadership, stronger education systems, modern farming methods, infrastructure development, and more opportunities for young people. Peace is essential. Without peace, investors stay away. Without investment, jobs remain scarce. And without jobs, poverty continues. Burundi also needs stronger regional cooperation with East African neighbors. Trade can help grow the economy. Technology can create new industries. Tourism could become a major opportunity if stability improves. The country has beautiful landscapes, wildlife, and culture. But none of that matters if citizens continue living in fear and poverty. Burundi's story is not simply about money. It is a story about history, conflict, politics, survival, and human resilience. It is easy for the world to ignore smaller nations. But the suffering in Burundi is real. Millions of people wake up every day fighting battles the rest of the world never sees. Yet despite all the hardship, hope still exists, because history has shown that countries can recover, nations can rebuild, and people can rise again after decades of pain. The question is, will Burundi finally get the chance it deserves, or will it remain trapped in poverty for generations to come? Only time will tell. Subscribe to the African Story Vault, where Africa's untold stories finally get the voice they deserve.